Presley on paternity leave. How do we feel about that?
Okay. Don't get mad at me. Please don't get mad at me.
Oh, no.
I'm just going to ask a question.
Just ask it.
Say you work in a profession where you have, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 months completely off from work. And you're in a committed relationship with somebody.
A marriage.
You're not Elon Musk or Nick Cannon, and you're just trying to make as many babies as possible. It could be a marriage. It could be just two people that happen to be together and their partners. Or it could be two people that are like, hey, let's have a kid. Forget all that long-term commitment stuff. I'm just saying, if you're somebody that plays a professional sport, shouldn't you be available for your team at all times? And isn't one way to be available for your team at all times by planning ahead? And if you're going to have a kid, make that decision to try to have the kid during, I don't know, the offseason. I say this for football. I say this for baseball, basketball. And I get it. It's controversial to some people. Maybe some people are like, no, that's the magic. You don't want to plan it. But I don't know. You're getting paid to play a sport. And I'm all for being there for your kid. That is much more important than playing said sport. But at the same time, I feel like you can plan ahead. And I don't know. As someone who's a little bit OCD, a little bit type A, I feel like in their shoes, if I was trying to make something like that happen, I would plan ahead.
I think it depends on the sport and the time of year. If you're an NFL player and if your child is being born and your wife is in labor, I get it. Miss the game that day if it's on a Sunday. After the baby comes out, and if you have an important game especially, your team should send a private jet and you should play in that NFL game because there's only so many NFL games and everyone counts. I'm sorry, I think it depends on the sport. This is just my opinion. Baseball, I think, is a little bit different because there's multiple games.
There's
now,
a million games, right? This is not a big deal by any means.
No, but whenever I hear of an NFL player who makes a lot of money per game, missing like 2 days after the kid is born, I don't understand that.
The one that really makes me say, really, is when how about this? Forget the fact that, maybe you're going to miss out on a regular season game because of the birth of your kid, and then you take paternity leave or something like that. And maybe you have a boss or a team that you work for that's great with this. But I feel like we shouldn't make the comparisons between sports, professional sports, and the workplace because
it's not the same.
Right. Again,
yeah.
you have 3 to 4 month off seasons. So forget what I said originally. How about just plan so that, say, the sport that you play in during the postseason of a sport that you play in, how about just try to not be having a kid then? So that means that you could shoot for what? 10 to 11 months across the calendar year to have a kid?
Just wrap it up during the that 1 month, right?
I mean, yeah.
Do the math, people. Sean, do you have any thoughts?
So you're saying Van Jefferson last year was cutting a little bit close on the Rams?
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. A little bit.
Cutting a little bit.
A little bit.
His kid being born hours after the Super Bowl.
And look, I get that there's a lot of religious concerns on the side of it, and I'm not trying to besmirch any of those things. My question is, though, why not plan ahead? Especially if you play a sport where you have plenty of downtime. You do. You have plenty of downtime to do this exact same thing. I know that if I were having a kid and if I played a professional sport, I would want to have as much time with that kid as I possibly could in the early days. And that I would probably want to make sure that happens during the off season so I'm not stressed thinking about missing work at the same time as being stressed raising a kid.
If you're a professional athlete, something tells me you wouldn't be in a committed relationship.
Whoa.
Wow. That's an excellent point by Sean
Really?
Mapes.
Just when you start this conversation with...
Am I that much of a dog?
You got that dog.
Damn.
Imagine how much easier it would be for you to be a dog.
Right, that's the problem.
You wouldn't even have to try that hard to
Every
be a dog.
time you leave a game, you have women waiting for you.
Call
you have the
me
DMs.
a dog. That's fair enough. Well, I don't really know how to come back.
Juan Soto, am I right?
You guys kind of hurt my feelings.
I think it's great. I think you'd be a player. I think you'd have many children being born.
What if I don't want to be a player?
You'd be an icon.
I'm looking for love. Maybe in all the wrong places.
You are not looking for love.
This is so mean. What? This is
we're
an
going
attack.
Hold on. We're going off of what you said, which is once you get someone, you now want someone else.
Right, but at some point that's probably not going to happen.
You
Yeah.
said that.
It's like,
Yeah, I'm like JD and Scrubs when he gets Elliot. Finally, he's like, I don't want it anymore. Guess
Right.
what? He still ends up with Elliot in the end, and they're happy.
so in the end,
Fictional TV show.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's some
Team
would
of
say,
writers came up with that.
Shut up. Some would say that show is as close to real life in the medical industry as any show.
No, it's
How
not
they don't
Grey's
say it's
Anatomy.
real life to like romance.
Right. So are you
I don't
looking
know
for
what
love
to
or
say.
not?
I don't
Are
know
you
what to
looking for
say.
love?
I really
Are you
don't.
looking
The
for
first time I've ever not known what to say right now. Like me ask a question.
You didn't think this Ryan Presley missing two games against the Yankees were gonna turn into a therapy
Hey,
session?
these are two big games against the Yankees.
Two massive games.